Well, Lance Clark's life was changed after seeing Chariots of Fire. He longed to make movies that would draw people to Jesus. Well, Lance knew he wanted his films to be grounded in faith, and that's why he chose to pursue his master's degree at Regent University.
Sitting in that theater, and I took in that movie, Chariots of Fire, I just felt something so special. And I thought, we can use this medium to tell stories just like Jesus told stories. And it really changed my perspective on what maybe I could do someday. I grew up in a home that was pretty rigid. My parents were both pastors in a very conservative church denomination, and I wasn't allowed to go to movies. I would kind of be deceptive to my parents and just say I was going out with my friends, but I would go see a movie. I really wanted to see Chariots of Fire because I knew it was a film based on a Christian character who really took some risk in his own life during the Olympics during World War II. So I went and saw that movie, and I did get grounded for it because my mom found the movie tickets in my pants. Eric Liddell in the film Chariots of Fire, there's a great line where he says, you know, I believe God made me for a purpose, but I love to run. And when I run, I feel God's pleasure. And that kind of hit me that every time I am behind a camera, every time I'm like doing something in the arts, I feel God's pleasure in that activity. And I knew that, wait, he could be a missionary by his gifts in running, his gifts in athleticism. And so maybe I can use the gifts that God gave me in telling stories. I knew that my undergraduate degree in communication was not a solid enough foundation to get into the cinematic arts. I thought grad school, and that's when I found Regent University and was like, maybe this will help me get there. I'll learn about film. I knew I wanted to go to at least a university that taught film through the lens of Christian faith because I wanted to be that kind of a storyteller. I wanted to be grounded in my storytelling through faith. Two things had a huge impact on me at Regent. One was my connection with the professors. It was really, really a special experience to have that somebody that had been out there, had done it, and now they're mentoring, they're speaking into my craft, into my passion. Secondly, just being on set. I'd never been on a movie set before. It was so good to learn that on-set experience because then I learned that there is a culture, an on-set culture. And I just learned all these fundamentals of like, this is a professional program, a professional way of doing things. When I got my MA, it took me to a different place. It platformed me up.
In 1993, Lance took a position as a professor at Huntington University. Using his experience from Regent, Lance started their own film program in 2005.
I knew at some point I was only taking my student to a certain level, and I wasn't truly getting them ready for the cinematic experience if they wanted to go full-time into feature filmmaking, what that culture felt like. And that's when we started Forrester Film.
In 2019, Lance and his writing partner, Matt Webb, decided to produce a story from Lance's childhood as their first Forrester film.
I've always loved the story of this man named Glenn Frank that came into my life as a kid and inspired me to get into music. It was through Glenn's life and tragedy of his life that allowed us to build the church. I thought his story will touch hearts, will touch lives. It's a story for such a time as this. We're making a movie!
Good. Okay, 117 Echo, take one, camera mark.
And action.
It just felt so good to walk on set after all the work, all the effort, all the prayers. Just to see the students in all their positions doing everything and throwing their heart's passion out there was just so rewarding as a professor. And to be on set and it's now real, it's really happening, and I just felt this overwhelming sense of just feeling blessed. And I felt God's presence through every day. The first time I actually saw Carpenter's Prayer in a movie theater was August 16th of 2024. And I'm sitting with an audience that they don't know who I am. They don't know I'm one of the producers on the project. And to hear them respond to it and get it. It is so full circle feeling when you have somebody come up to you afterwards, especially a young person, and say, I want to be a part of this. I want to make movies like that too. That is such a rewarding, incredible experience. There's nothing like that, especially when you're living out your calling. My grad school experience at Regent really cemented in me the passion to study story, to understand good story, whether it's documentary, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, but just to understand what a good story is and not to compromise on that. Christians and non-Christians, people that are seeking truth, they need stories like A Carpenter's Prayer that are about the truthful condition of what it means to be human in a broken and fallen world and what it means to love on others in a broken and fallen world. We don't have enough stories like that. And we need more like that to challenge and inspire others to go out there and be better. And maybe it'll change a few lives. Maybe a few other Glenn Franks will find hope and find faith in Christ. And if our film A Carpenter's Prayer plays a small role in doing that, then we've accomplished something pretty special.
Well, Lance is just one of the graduates from Regent University, and the motto is Christian leadership to change the world. So here's Lance taking his degree, and he's out there changing the world. And he says, I love it when I hear young people come, how much that movie changed their life. You can be a part of the Regent University community if you want a Christian education, and that's so important in today's culture, that you have surrounded by people of like faith that want to do something good. We offer a variety of degrees. There's a wonderful honors college undergraduate. There's all kinds of graduate degrees, whether it's divinity, communication, law, counseling, psychology, education. It's all available. If you want more information, dial that special number on the screen or go to regent.edu. Here's a word from Proverbs. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. God bless. We'll see you next week.